Okay, everyone, good evening. Thank you so much for joining us. We are so excited to be participating in the third event of Fertility for Color Girls National Infertility Awareness Week Virtual Summit. We have had an amazing time the past 2 nights with some of our experts speaking about a variety of issues related to infertility and the journey to fertility. And tonight is no different. We are very excited to be talking about affordable fertility treatments with Torria Driver of Fertility Centers of Illinois, and also with some special information from EMD Serono. So thank you both so much for joining us tonight. A couple of housekeeping items. We will have a question and answer session. What we are asking people to do is to send their questions through the chat box that you all should see hopefully on the right side of your screen. If you happen to be joining us on the phone, I will unmute you toward the end of the session so that you will be able to ask any questions. So with that, I am going to turn it over to Torria Driver, who is going to introduce herself and give us some wonderful information. So take it away, Torria. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, good evening. Welcome to National Infertility Awareness Week. My name is Torria Driver. I am a fertility clinician. I've worked with Fertility Centers of Illinois for just about 19 years. I'm very excited to share some cost-saving tips to you for your journey. As we know, being diagnosed with infertility can be very devastating. It's emotionally draining as well as financially draining. As a matter of fact, financial stress is the #1 reason why couples drop out of treatment altogether. Even though Illinois is a mandated state, not all insurance covers fertility and/or fertility medications. So in my experience, I always tell my patients to make sure you know your coverage. Contact your insurance company, check to make sure you have infertility coverage, make sure it's just not diagnostic. If you have a max, find out what that max is. Sometimes they give you a number such as $10,000 max, and that could cost could just go for IVF. So if that's just going for your treatment, then you wouldn't have any money left over for medication. So you really want to make sure that you are aware of your coverage. Also, with patients that I've coached throughout the years, one of my resources that I've reached out to or referred my patients to is EMD Serono's Compassionate Care Program. This website, because of the ease of submitting the form, it's really easy to use. I really love it. You can reach this website by going to www.fertilitylifelines.com, and you can access the enrollment form from there, and I can show you here. Okay. So the form is really simple and easy. You want to make sure you fill out all of the boxes. Make sure you provide your contact information, and most importantly, make sure you upload your income eligibility form. You should have an answer within 5 days, and they will inform you of what your percentage of your savings will be. The Compassionate Care Program is the first program of its kind, ensuring that income-eligible patients can access fertility medications at 75%, 50%, or 25% off the self-pay price. Active, retired, and veteran military personnel are eligible for a minimum of 25% off, and might be eligible for up to 50 or 75% off their medication. A minimum purchase is not required for eligibility, and if you decide to change fertility facilities, your cost savings is transferable. Eligible patients can use the program for multiple cycles each year. EMD Serono's Compassionate Corpse program provides free medication to uninsured veterans with service-related injuries or their spouses. Eligible patients can use the program for up to 2 cycles during each year. This program is secondary to coverage provided under the Fertility Veterans Law and does not apply to veterans eligible for coverage under the Act. And last but not least, the Gold Direct program is a mail-in rebate program. Eligible self-pay patients can receive a discount via mail-in rebate on their out-of-pocket costs. Eligible patients save more than $2.5 million in 2016 with Gold Direct savings. In 2016, over 34,000 patients received the 10% off EMD Serono's medications. And for those patients who have insurance coverage but may have high copays, there's EMD Serono's copay savings card. Eligible privately insured patients can save up to $250 at participating pharmacies. In 2016, the copay savings card was redeemed over 63,000 times. The combined savings for patients nationally was over $5 million. For my patients, fertility lifelines have been a lifeline in saving them money and also have actually made a way for them to continue their treatment. Hey, is there any questions or?
Yes, ma'am. I don't think we have any questions right now, so we can go ahead and continue, and then toward probably the end of the webinar, we can take questions in the last few minutes.
Okay. So Fertility for Lifelines have saved many patients thousands and thousands of dollars. As a matter of fact, I just had a new patient come in who just started treatment, who went through an IVF cycle and found out at the middle of her cycle that she did not have enough coverage to pay for treatment, to pay for her medications, and she actually went on EMD Serono's website, Fertility Lifelines, and was actually able to fill out an application and got an answer right away, and she was able to complete her treatment cycle. So we really appreciate EMD Serono for their compassionate care program. And even for our military personnel, we salute you, and I know all too well about not having enough coverage for medications for military. EMD Serono Compassionate Care Program does provide 25% discount for those active, veteran, or retired personnel right off the bat, and depending on your income will determine if you will get more savings from them. Okay. As I've coached my patients throughout the years, like I said, financial is one of the #1 reasons why patients drop off out of treatment. And my advice to that would be to just make sure you know your insurance coverage, check with your providers for different resources. And we do use Fertility Lifelines a lot to save our patients thousands and thousands of dollars. And let's see here.
Okay, Torria, while we're pausing, we do have a question, which is, does EMD Serono provide free donated medication to Fertility for Colored Girls grant recipients?
Yes, they do. EMD Serono does provide free medications for Fertility for Color Girls for their grant program. Absolutely, they do, and it's been very helpful to our recipients.
Okay, awesome. And for anyone who didn't realize, I believe the grant program that you all are mentioning is the Gift of Hope application that I believe now has been done at least 2 years. This might be the 3rd year that Fertility for Color Girls is offering the opportunity for a family, you know, a woman or couple who is trying to build the family of their dreams, the opportunity to apply for this family building grant, and I think the deadline is in June, but I know that if you go to our website, fertilityforcolorgirls.org, there is a link to the 2017 Gift of Hope application. Please go check it out, and if that is something that you're interested in, please complete that application and get it submitted. So it's an awesome program, and we are really excited that EMD Serono is participating in that, so that's awesome.
Thank you, Bridget. And also on the Fertility for Lifelines website, there is other information that they provide, demystifying infertility, fertility treatments, and you can even find a fertility specialist on the website as well. There's lots of information that's provided for patients who are looking for fertility specialists. And also fertility facts, it's really good. It's a lot of information that you can find on this website.
Awesome.
Okay. If there is any questions, I'm more than happy to take some questions.
Okay, we don't see any other questions for right now. I did have a question about that compassionate care. How does the application process go? I know you talked a lot about how much this can actually save families and has saved your own patients, and that's wonderful. So if you've got more information on that, I'm sure that would be very helpful. Oh, we did get a question. Let's,
okay.
How do you know when you have qualified for compassionate care?
Oh, that's a great question. So Fertility for Lifelines will be in touch with you within 5 days via email. Whatever, if you provide your email, they will contact you by email or by your contact phone numbers. But you should have an answer within 5 days.
Awesome.
EMD Serono just has been a really, really good help to our patients. And I am just so happy to know and to be able to provide this information to our patients, because like I said, without them providing the cost-saving discounts, a lot of our patients wouldn't even be able to continue with treatment. So I am really, really excited about this program, and I appreciate what they do for our patients.
Awesome. And we did just get another question come in. The question is this just for Illinois residents?
No, it's not just for Illinois residents. And once you are approved for a certain amount of percentage, you can transfer your cost savings to whatever facility that you plan to go to.
Okay, great. And we have a ton of questions coming in now. Well, I won't say a ton. We've got 2 more. But the first question is there an income limit for discounts?
Well, there is an income. It is based on your income.
Okay.
So yeah, it is depending on your income. I don't have the numbers for that, but it is based on your income. But definitely, if you need assistance, I would say no matter what your income is, go ahead, complete the application, because you never know. You probably will get a percentage, even if it's 25% off.
Okay. And then the next question says, what does the medication cost? What's the average?
For an IVF cycle, medications, depending on your protocol, can cost you anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000.
Okay. Okay. Well, those are all the questions that we have for right now. So we can continue, and if you all think of anything else, you are certainly welcome to send the questions through the chat. It seems that we have more people online today than we had, which is good. The past couple of nights we've had a couple of well, we've had several people also on the phone. So we keep an eye on that because we want to make sure everyone has the opportunity to ask questions as they have them. But it looks like today we are all online. So everyone, please take a look at the chat. If you have any questions, please send those questions through the chat. And I see Reverend Stacy is here, and she has a question. And her question is, in addition to compassionate care, what organizations do you know that provide grants and financial support?
What other organization? Right now, I believe that Fertility for Color Girls, the Life Foundation does provide grants and IVF cycles for patients as well. So the Kevin J. Lederer Life Foundation, as well as Fertility for Color Girls, also provide grants and scholarships for patients going through fertility treatment.
Awesome. And I do believe we have some resources on the Fertility for Colored Girls website as well. I think we have some resources and links that give that type of information, because we know that this journey, it can be scary for a lot of families because they don't know how much it's going to cost and how much insurance may cover and that sort of thing. So these options, I know, are just knowing about these options are really valuable for these families. So we certainly appreciate you all here tonight. It does look like we have another question, which asks, how long is the award good for? And I'm not sure which award you mean specifically. Are you talking about the Gift of Hope application? Miss Compassionate Care, okay, I guess that makes sense. How long is the Compassionate Care Award good for, Torria?
Okay, so patients who are eligible for the compassionate care can use it for multiple cycles each year.
Okay, awesome.
So for a year. And after a year, you can resubmit a new application.
Okay, excellent. Excellent. Okay, while we are...
Okay, well, most importantly, I would just really want our patients to know, or anyone interested in fertility treatment, just even before you start your fertility journey, make sure you are aware of your coverage through your insurance company. There are resources out there, Fertility for Color Girls, there's Compassionate Care, Fertility Lifelines, that provides really good cost-saving discounts, and that can help you. I've seen so many people in the past stop treatment because of financial reasons, and just know that there are resources out there to help you.
Okay, that's great. Great to know. Definitely great information to know. And we have another question that just came in, and it's Reverend Stacy. How can you ensure that doctors in their offices are coding procedures in a woman's favor? so that insurance can cover particular procedures. Wow, that is very
That is,
wow. So, and the second part of her question is, are there persons that women can talk with?
there should be a financial coordinator at each location that can talk to you about your fertility coverage. And if for coding, you would really need to reach out to your insurance company to see what is covered, and just pay attention. Every time you come in for a visit, you'll receive an encounter form. Your past everything is on that encounter form, so you have it. You can always check and verify with your insurance company if something looks different or if you're being overcharged. This is something that you really want to check with your insurance company. That can possibly happen, so you want to just make sure that if they're telling you to pay a certain amount and your insurance company has told you that you have coverage, then you definitely want to verify those diagnosis code with your insurance company that you have coverage or not.
Wow. And I agree, Brandy. That is an excellent question. Brandy just sent through the chat that that's an excellent question. I think just with a lot of not just this issue, but with a lot of issues, we just don't ask enough questions. You know, we think that, okay, we got the bill, that must be how much it costs. We don't consider that, oh, wow, there's a code associated with this, and the difference in codes can make the difference between how much I need to pay. That is, wow. So that's some great
Definitely.
information.
So just be curious, pay attention, ask questions. Don't feel like you're being a burden. They're there for you. Your fertility nurses, your insurance coordinators, they are there for you. So do ask questions.
Yes, definitely, definitely. Well, I know I'm learning a lot here tonight, so that's wonderful. It's great information. So any more questions? This is a wonderful time to ask. We have Torria Driver here with Fertility Centers of Illinois, and she's also giving us some great information from EMD Serono on affordable treatments, affordable fertility treatments. So this is a wonderful topic, and it's just another way to get information and hopefully to have more hope about that journey to fertility, that you can have financial assistance as well as some of the informational and spiritual assistance offered by organizations like Fertility for Color Girls. So that's great. So we're still waiting on some more questions. Meanwhile, we got another one. Okay, Brandy asks, do you think shared donor egg cycles are a good way to make DE-IVF more affordable?
Absolutely. I absolutely agree with that. It's kind of tricky because then there's this legal aspect that goes along with that. But if you can find someone, a friend who want to go through an IVF cycle and share the cost of that, absolutely, that's a great way to save on your IVF treatment.
Okay. Okay, and we've got one more question from Reverend Stacy, again having to do with insurance and codes. Even if you don't have insurance coverage, how can they code an ultrasound and blood test so that insurance will cover that even if a woman doesn't have insurance? So that would be an example for me, I guess for Reverend Stacy, little things that can help be more affordable. So it sounds like, in what ways some of those little things that you may not think, would be a big deal, but those little things can add up. So
absolutely. And if you have diagnostic coverage, then make sure that you are your doctor is giving you a diagnostic code. Once you start medication, you can no longer use that code. You are an infertility patient, so they have to code it as such. But before you start medications, you can use a diagnostic code, and that could save you money for your diagnostic workup. Or if you have, some insurance company have allow you to go to your gynae for ultrasounds and blood work. So if that's possible, if your gynae can get your fertility doctor the results back the same day, then that could save you some money. So if you have coverage with your gynae, you can go to your gynae, have your lab and ultrasound, and have them forward your results to your fertility clinic, and then it's covered. But once you start medications, you are considered a fertility patient, so you have to code it as such.
Okay, excellent. And another question just came in asking about explaining lifetime max and how to use it efficiently.
I'm sorry, Bridget, would you repeat that for me?
Sure. Could you explain the lifetime max and how to use it efficiently?
Okay, the lifetime max, some insurance companies put a max on your fertility coverage. And what I found out is that if you have a $10,000 max and your doctor has put a protocol for you to go through an IVF cycle, which can be $10,000. So that's your max. So when it comes to your medications, you want to make sure that there's a separate pot for medications. If there's no separate pot and your medications and your treatment is coming out of this $10,000 max, then you will not have enough money to cover both. So you want to make sure with your insurance company what your max covers. Is it just your treatment, or is it both medications and treatment? A lot of patients get into an IVF cycle and don't realize that their max is for both medications and treatment. And then they're in the cycle and they need refills. And when they go to get refills, they find out that they're out of money.
Wow.
So you want to know this information in advance.
Absolutely. So it really just all comes down to asking questions, whether you're seeing what funds are available, such as through compassionate care, or trying to figure out what your insurance can cover or what the lifetime max is. You just have to ask those questions and not be afraid of, taking control of this journey. So that is excellent information.
And also you can, if you're going through an IVF cycle, you can ask your fertility practice if they can discount your treatment as well. I mean, if you've been going there for a while, some practices will give you a discount. So you want to make sure that you exhaust all your resources.
Okay, sounds great. Well, we will see if there are any more questions. It is almost 7:30 Central Time, 8:30 Eastern Time, and I suppose 6:30 Pacific Time. Don't quote me on that because, I don't math very well. But the idea is that we're getting ready to wrap up. So if anyone has any more questions for Torria, you can sort of send them now as we wrap up. Also, Torria, what's some contact information or maybe an email address if someone thinks of questions later or wants to reach out to you for more information about compassionate care and other affordable fertility treatments?
Oh, sure. You can reach me at Torria, Torriaj, Driver, Driver, at gmail.com.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight, Torria. We really appreciate it. We've gotten some wonderful information.
Bridget, that was just one more question that I would just like to answer. Is that okay?
Of course.
Okay, so sometimes we do get donated medications in from either patients who have gone through treatment and have finished creating their family, and they do bring in medications to pay it for it. So you also want to make sure you check with your fertility practice to see if there is donated medication. Sometimes there are samples available. Just ask. just ask questions.
For sure, for sure. So if you didn't hear anything else tonight, just ask questions. So that's wonderful, wonderful information. Thank you again, Torria, for joining us tonight. We really, really appreciate your time.
Thank you, Bridget. It's been a pleasure. I really appreciate you, and it was a lot of fun. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, you're welcome. I'm going to make just a few announcements before I hope everyone enjoys the rest of their evening. The first announcement is that tomorrow is going to be the last event of our virtual summit. We are doing our virtual book launch for Hold On to Hope, a wonderful, wonderful book full of stories from women and families about their journey of building a family and how they held on to hope and inspiration to build the family of their dreams. So it's a wonderful book. If you haven't gotten it yet, please go to our Facebook page, go to the website, and order a copy because it's great. Absolutely awesome. And I think, Torria, you actually have a section in there, don't you?
I do have a section in there. My story is on page 91. Go ahead, Bridget.
No, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I didn't want you to give away too much of it because tomorrow we're doing a book launch and we are going to have several people whose stories are featured in Hold On to Hope join us, and they are going to read sections from their story. So I didn't want you to start talking about your story, Torria, and then they don't join us tomorrow. So
absolutely.
But I mean, these stories are just so inspirational and just absolutely wonderful for people on this journey. So I hope you all will join us tomorrow, 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern for our virtual book launch. And we've already mentioned it during this webinar, but I also want to remind you all about the Gift of Hope application. Applications are now being accepted for that family building grant. And if you want more information about that, please log on to fertilityforcoloredgirls.org. There's a link that says 2017 Gift of Hope application, I believe, and it gives you more information and also the application itself. So I think that's it for tonight. We want to definitely see you all back here tomorrow for our last event of the virtual summit for National Infertility Awareness Week. So thank you all for joining us. We appreciate you taking the time to join us tonight, and we hope to see you all back here tomorrow. Everyone have a good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.